And today's listener write-in, Sona, is writing in from India. Dear Tess, I'm a 17-year-old student from India, and I think I've been struggling with maladaptive daydreaming ever since 5th grade. I do remember the first time I daydreamed. It was about a guy, imaginary, whom I fell in love with, and a story that I just made up. I also remember not being able to focus on whatever was happening in my surroundings and associating everything with what was happening with that guy. Like if I saw a horse, I would imagine us riding the horse together. But I kind of stopped and started again when the virus happened and I was alone, and from then I've continuously maladaptive daydreamed with the same kind of situations, and now the guy changes every time. Everyone says cut out the trigger for maladaptive daydreaming, but my trigger is just everything. I've tried a lot of things like resolving my trauma or forcing myself to just not daydream. Nothing worked. You may say that I should get a therapist, but please understand, getting one in India is really hard because with backward parents and I'm just 17. Right now I'm preparing for this very important exam, which is one of the hardest in India. I just can't focus on studies. Please help, Tess. I don't know what to do. Hi, Sona. Thank you so much for writing in. I'm sorry. I really feel you when it comes to focus and studying. You mentioned that you've tried resolving your trauma. I wonder how well you're able to resolve your trauma without a therapist. And I recognize your inability to get one because you're young and because it's harder in India. I do think of that sometimes when I suggest that in my videos. I know it's not always accessible. I hear you. In that case, I usually recommend trauma books. You don't mention if you do any kind of exercise. One of the things with trauma and maladaptive daydreaming is an inability to focus and disassociating and escapism. So if I were you, I would focus on the body, grounding yourself in the present, doing any sort of trauma technique, and then focus on focus, because that's your goal. How do you focus when it comes to maladaptive daydreaming? I would love to know if you've tried anything from the first 2 videos. I really recommend going through that again and trying every single thing. So I would say that. I think in terms of focusing and disassociating, one that's really good is time tracking. It's annoying because you have to keep doing it, but I have days where I have trouble concentrating. So one of the things that grounds me is writing down what I'm doing and how long it's taken, and I was doing that earlier today because my focus was just spiraling out. So take a piece of paper, write the time, and write exactly what you're doing. If you're maladaptive daydreaming, write maladaptive daydreaming. Then you see it on the page and you realize, oh, I see the hour and the minute here. I don't have to keep doing this. So then on the other side of the paper, make a list of the things you have to do. If it's studying, break it down into smaller chunks. If you have 10 chapters to study for an exam, I'm just throwing out a number, maybe it's 5 chapters or 3 chapters or 1 chapter, break it down into a smaller chunk. If you have 3 chapters to do, break it down by chapters. I will spend 20 minutes for this chapter. I will spend 20 minutes on this chapter, and then use the Pomodoro method to do that. I have 2 timers on my channel. You can choose one of those, pop it on, write down at what time you're starting studying too, so you can have it in multiple places where, yes, I am studying. It's almost like you're signing your own contract with your action and with the time. And then study, and just do your best to concentrate. And if you're having trouble still to get into the first mode of studying, do some grounding things. I like Dr. Pierre Levine's self-container. Left hand under armpit. I recommend this in probably half my videos because it really works. Another, I recommend alternate nasal breathing. There's actually research which shows the more one nostril is open, if your left side nostril is more open, that lends toward creativity. And if you're right, and being kind of sleepier, more relaxed. If your right nostril is more open, that's going to help you focus and be more awake. So alternate nasal breathing can help open both nostrils. And if your right nostril is more closed than your left one, it will help spur you awake. Another one that can help, take a walk, take a 15-minute walk. Take a walk with your book if you can, or stand up and walk with your book in the house. Get some exercise moving, because exercise is very good for focus and concentrating. It's very important to not torture yourself over this. Recognize that you need breaks, you need time outside, you need conversations with other people. If you're just sitting in front of your book and you find your mind wandering and you're just staying there, that's not going to be as effective as getting yourself in a clearer headspace if it's going on where it's like hours of daydreaming and no studying is happening. Then you need probably some other physical intervention. Salmon, blueberries, spinach can be great for thinking with more clarity and focus. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're getting enough sleep. They're basic things, but they're basic for a reason. They're the foundational things. There's probably acupressure points for focus. I don't know if I know any off the top of my head. Maybe I just posted a video on overwhelm, and that would probably be a good one for you if you're feeling overwhelmed with studying. That might help. There's some acupressure suggestions I have there. I think it's really just finding grounding again, finding grounding, finding focus. The overarching thing, go through the videos, maladaptive daydreaming 1 and 2, try everything. Do the time tracking, start immediately. Write down 7:02, maladaptive daydreaming. 7:03, have my book out to study. And then another thing you can try is, taking care of your physical well-being, exercise, eating the right food, sleep. Another thing you can do is bring in someone else and see if you can study with someone else. Make note cards of things you have to study and do that with another person. That way, if you are able to focus with other people, that's another way to get around whatever your mind is doing. There's a lot of different ways of getting around yourself. You just have to find what works. I hope that's helpful. Please write back. Let me know if you try all the things in both the videos and suggestions in this video. I'd love to hear how you're doing, and I hope your exam goes well. I believe in you. It's just one period of studying you have to get through, and you can do it one day at a time, one chapter at a time. All right, Sona, thank you so much. To everyone else, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and if you'd like to write in, I'll leave the Google form below. Thanks, everyone. Bye.